This episode of Cousins Sons is brought to you by the Masani Group. As you guys know, Garon and I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One of our black belts is not only a black belt in BJJ, but also in the housing market. It can help you get the best deals on homes in the greater Los Angeles area. Just call the Masani Group at 626-263-0434 or visit their website at themasanigroup.com. This episode of Cousins Sons is brought to you by Authentic Muay Thai Supply. This is an online fightwear store where you can find the best, most authentic Muay Thai protection gear, training gear, boxing gloves, and Muay Thai shorts straight up from Thailand. Good prices, good people. Check them out over at AuthenticMuayThaiSupply.com and enjoy this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Nailed it, Pepper.
You'll be proud of someone. Just give me a chance to make yourself. If you don't like me here, I will be someone else.
Another episode of Cousins Sons podcast. Your hosts, Eric Pepper, Garon Atencio, and our special guest, Courtney Scheuerman, everybody. Woo! How's it going? God, it's good to see you. She's beautiful, isn't she?
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Is it too early for that? Was it too early
Yeah.
for that?
It was a little too
It was a
early.
lot. It went from silence to that.
The best part is that's how we usually get them. It's always such like, yep, okay, we're good. Let's go. Okay. And everyone's like, whoa, all right,
Yep.
I'm here.
There you go. You don't need that coffee no more. I'm
Well,
just kidding. Now you do.
You might need it. So,
so
Travis?
Are you guys ready for some Travis trivia, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
we started off.
All right, beautiful. We discovered this new format last podcast with Miranda Meadows. So what we're going to do is Courtney will answer our first question. This is going to be Courtney versus the Cousins. We'll see how it goes. So this first question, it's a pretty easy question. Question number 1. Black Friday begins the day after which holiday? Memorial Day, Christmas, Halloween,
And
Thanksgiving.
we're starting with Courtney, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Boom.
It's okay.
There
It
we
gets
go.
more interesting. I read on.
But the first one's a softball. All right.
Yeah.
All right, this is for the Cousins. The term Black Friday originated in what U.S. city? Los Angeles, Philadelphia, New York, or Miami?
I don't know who would do this.
He
Probably
was
LA.
shaking his head like he knew.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
He was
know.
doing-
Well, I know
Yeah,
this one.
I was
Los
just like,
Angeles.
I'm going to say LA.
Wait, what are the actual questions? Answers?
Oh, Los
Miami,
Angeles,
Los Angeles.
Such an LA state of mind. It's LA.
L.A., Philadelphia, New York, or Miami?
Philadelphia.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Boom!
Damn.
Nailed it!
Damn.
Because
Nice.
I went straight to LA and I'm like, okay, how old is this
Yeah.
holiday and this
Mhm.
experience? And then you have to go out east. So
Okay, well, I wouldn't have put that
Alrighty,
together.
question number 3. So we're tied 1-1, everybody. Your third question, that's for Courtney. Courtney, why is Black Friday black? Is it drives some stores out of business, shoppers end up black and blue, the weather is usually bad, or retailers become profitable?
Retailers become profitable.
dang it.
Nailed it.
Oh,
there we go.
damn.
All right,
I
2 to
knew
1.
that one.
2
2 to 1. All right, question number 4. Which for the Cousins, which retailer is the most dangerous place to shop on Black Friday?
Walmart.
Dollar General, Walmart, Costco, or Target?
Ooh, dangerous?
Walmart,
I want to
for
say
sure.
I want to say
No?
Walmart or Costco, but Walmart. I mean, are we getting?
You think you get some Walmart?
I'm
Yeah.
going to go with Walmart.
Boom.
Nice.
There it
I
is.
thought
These are
white
obvious.
trash. I was like white trash, Walmart,
Yeah.
dangerous, Midwest.
Wow,
someone's
this is fascinating.
Have you
Most
watched some
violence.
You know
videos
this-
of that? The Walmart shoppers?
Uh-uh.
Oh, they're hilarious.
It's
Look them up.
I used to go in high school and I had a cast on, and I just made sure like I never fought anybody, but that was my defense. Where I was like,
To get that toaster oven
Yeah.
you've always wanted. Oh, by the way, it says 57.1% of Black Friday incidents occur at a Walmart.
Wow.
Fun
But no,
facts
it makes
there.
sense, right?
yeah, tickle me Elmo.
Probably mostly in Ohio.
More than likely. All right, question number 5. This is for Courtney. We got a tie ball game, 2-2. Courtney, what did some merchants try to rename Black Friday? Was it Big Friday, Blue Friday, Best Friday, or Bad Friday?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
This also seems opinionated. So.
Best, big, blue,
yeah.
or black?
Bad, best, blue, big.
I'm going to go with big.
Wow.
Boom.
Oh, all right.
That was totally a guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, as the name spread throughout Philadelphia in the 1950s, some cities' merchants disliked negative connotations and unsuccessfully tried to change it to Big Friday.
See, you learned something. This is why we do
This is
trivia.
why we do this.
We've
Yeah.
gotten actually smarter in the last 6 months.
So
It's
it's-
a
I
really
don't know about
important
that.
topic, too.
Yeah, right.
It's 3-2. Let's see if the Cousins
It
can
just
pull
happened.
another one out here. It did just happen. Did you guys go Black Friday
No.
shopping?
No.
No?
I was just-
Online.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Cyber,
Cyber
Black
Monday.
Friday.
Cyber Monday.
A week
Monday.
later, sales.
Shit.
When they're like,
We
"We'll
could do
keep
that
it
one
going."
too.
All right, question number 6. What was the first department store to advertise a post-Thanksgiving sale, Cousins? Was it Sears, JCPenney's, Macy's, or Kohl's?
Oh, those are not Kohl's. Maybe Macy's. That's been around for a while.
What's the other two besides Kohl's and Macy's?
JCPenney's and Sears.
I'm gonna say
Who's
Sears or
Sears?
JCPenney's. What do you think?
I'm gonna say Macy's, but you can say what you think.
I think
the Cousins are torn.
Sears.
Sears.
We go
You going
Sears.
Sears? That is
Damn.
incorrect.
Macy's. I would say Macy's,
All right,
too.
Courtney, you have a chance to steal.
Yes. I'm
Ja-
going to go with Macy's.
Macy's?
Ah,
yeah,
damn it. Never
There's
mind.
a damn fucking Thanksgiving Day parade. There's a parade named after it.
Really? I didn't know that.
What, Macy's Day Parade?
You're right. You're right.
Oh well,
All right, it's 4-2.
we can afford one.
The Cousins can still win. But this question is for Courtney, and you guys gonna have a chance to steal if she gets it wrong. And that would tie us back up. Okay. What % of Black Friday shoppers later regret their purchases?
Oh
Again,
God.
sounds hard. 68, 52, 34, 16.
Percentage?
Percentage? I
Uh,
don't know. Is this?
I'm going to
Oh.
go with...
Yeah.
But we can discuss it if you want.
Let's talk about this. I just want you to get.
We're losing over here.
I'm
It's a
going to...
technique I have.
I'm going to say... I'm going to say 34.
34. Boom.
Damn.
All right,
What was
Cousins.
the letter left?
So it's going to go high or low.
68, 52, 16.
That regret?
That regret.
That are filled with regrets. I
I'll
feel like
go
you're
high.
doing some
I'm gonna
sort
say
of
50.
beautiful mind
Yeah, right.
calculations
Just
in your
like-
head over there.
All right, you just go for it.
I'm going to do the 51.
52?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Beautiful mind. Beautiful
Yeah.
mind.
That's a lot.
Stay out of
No,
this.
that's a lot of regret.
That's a lot
a
of
lot
regret.
of regret. That's a
That
a
is
like-
great
But I mean,
regret.
it's impulsive. You
Yeah.
usually regret
But
things
it's
that
not
you do
impulsive.
impulsively.
Like
You-
you know the day's
Yeah.
Well, that's
coming.
okay,
You're
true.
But then
thinking
that's
about what
why
you need.
you
It's
see the
not-
parents standing there after their kids open the presents going, "Are you? You better be grateful for that." Like, I regret every second I spent in that line and spending that money.
That's true.
Or maybe the TVs are shitty. Okay, so it is 4-3. Cousins, this is your question. You can tie it up here, and we'll have 2 questions left.
No.
So, question number 8. What is the going rate for hiring someone to wait in line for you on Black Friday?
There's a going rate.
You can hire someone, apparently.
Travis, what were we doing on Black Friday?
Not getting, however, it's actually some pretty good rates here. 20 an hour, 50 an hour, 35 an hour, or 15 an hour.
I would say only 15 or 20. But then again, those
I
lines,
wouldn't. I
I've
would
been in
charge
those lines.
50.
Yeah, those lines though, especially because I would pay you to be in one line while I go to Best Buy. You're at, Walmart getting
Yeah.
beat up, and I'm going to Best Buy.
At that
Yeah.
point, are you even
Yeah.
saving any damn money?
That's what I was
Right.
thinking.
But
Well, yeah, but you don't
time,
have
you're
to.
saving time, and if there's only like 100 of that TV you want, at least you paid an extra $50 to guarantee it.
So we're gonna go with $50.
Yep.
$50.
You going 50 an hour?
No,
No.
it's definitely
Too
20 or
high.
15.
Alrighty, Courtney, you got a chance to steal.
What are the options?
That's just what
Uh,
we would charge.
They picked 50 an hour, but its options left are 20 an hour, 35 an hour, 15 an hour.
I'm going to say 35.
Ah,
Still high though.
It's
Yeah.
very high.
Yeah.
$25 an hour?
Yeah, not bad.
Wow.
But standing in line sucks.
All right, Cousins, you only have a chance to tie,
Okay.
and that's if she fucks up this question.
Oh,
That's
great.
the only option
There-
here,
Okay.
because it is 5-3. So it's
Okay.
2 questions left. So, Courtney, if you get this question right, you have secured your victory. So, question number 9: what is the Monday after Black Friday called?
Oh, fuck you.
Super Monday, Manic
This is
Monday,
bullshit.
Cyber Monday, Discount Monday.
Cyber Monday, bitches.
Bam! Nailed it. Yes.
We got shut down.
Well done.
Dude, we got
well
shut down by Meadows too, didn't we?
Really
Yeah.
good.
No, Meadows went to a tiebreaker.
I did
was
go to
very
a tie-
impressed
she-
with you guys.
But
Yeah.
she won though.
Yeah, she won, but we got shut down by Courtney.
Yeah, we got.
Courtney
shut
was
down
like, "No, you can't. You can tie maybe if you want."
And
to
did
be
you
cool."
guys pick these questions? Or-
Yeah.
No.
We
picked the trivia
we picked
category.
the trivia, but honestly, we usually just pick random. We're dumb, so we just we learn every time. We're just like, oh, we'll see what we actually know.
This gives us something to talk shit about.
We've done some
Yes.
crazy stuff, some questions where we're just like, we've gotten maybe one right. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah.
So the
It's been
history
bad.
questions.
Yeah, a lot
go
of
deep.
history questions, UFO questions, which are also opinionated. I feel like questions.
Anthony didn't do bad on that one.
No, he did good. He did good on that one, but I don't know. But yeah, that's why. See, now you win. Now you feel good. Now you don't realize it's only
Nice.
10 in the morning.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling great about myself.
Feeling great. There it is. That's how it
Great.
starts the day off. That's how it starts.
Oh.
So Courtney, you are. Where are you from originally?
I'm from here, from
Yep,
LA.
see, I knew that. I just wanted you
LA,
guys to
like
know that. Yeah,
LA.
LA.
From the Valley, born and raised Woodland Hills.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
Right
yeah,
there,
pretty
right
much
there.
here.
Did you you've been doing stand up for how long?
9 years.
9 years.
How old were you when you
Years.
started?
9
I
years
mean,
ago.
are you trying to figure out how old I am? Is that like your polite way of asking?
Jeez.
Damn, you caught me. She caught me. How?
Did you
That
say
usually
9
always-
years?
I mean,
Always works, but
She was
how old
she was
were you when
18.
you started?
She was 18.
I was
How old?
18.
She started when she was 18, and
that's pretty legit.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say I started later than I would have liked to.
Yeah, we feel the same way
Yeah, I
about
feel the
us,
same way too. Yeah.
even though we feel like our life experiences would have maybe not have lived up to the ability to actually start earlier. You know, like having that stuff to talk about, or even because we've only been doing it 11 months, and it's still like, wish we would have started earlier, but we also know like the confidence of being on stage and getting over that. Was
Yeah.
your first time? Because you acted. Did you act before? Did you?
Yeah, I started acting as a kid.
Yep.
My background is in theater. Got my degree in theater, and then
Where'd you go to school?
UC Berkeley.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Fancy, fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have a plan to do stand up. That wasn't the goal.
Mhm.
And it was kind of something I just like came across, which sounds so weird.
Just what? Just you
yeah.
like that? Just I'm
Yeah.
gonna go in front of people and just.
Well, I went through the Groundlings.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're
And
great.
things got really political there.
It's
and,
so political over there.
I was like, you know what? I can take these characters and put them on stage myself.
That's awesome,
And,
yeah.
I thought that stand up and improv were kind of the same thing. I knew nothing about the worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been studying improv for years, and I was just like, I'll just do a monologue on
Yeah.
stage, and it's not. They have nothing to do with each other.
No,
in
it's
any way.
when I did, because I did Second City and IO out in Chicago, and then came out here, did a little bit of Groundlings, and everybody who did both were like, no, it's a different side of the brain almost. Like
Yeah.
you're not. It's not connecting the dots like that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm grateful for the improv training because of the little bit of confidence I have on stage, or the little bit I have even with acting. It's like get you out of your shell more than not doing it, because it's that stage
yeah.
presence. So
Yeah, the stage presence and thinking on your feet and just being present.
yeah,
It all translates. But
it all helps with that. But then you went up there. Was your first time? Was it at a bar, or is it? Because 9 years ago, I don't think they had many of these like where we're at right now. Or are these open mics that you? Was it a show up, go up kind of experience? Or
yeah, it was actually my first show was at the Improv. I had I had taken a class.
Yeah.
That's awful. I don't remember.
oh, his name? It's fine. He's not listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, someday.
Maybe in 10 years they'll turn back and listen to this
yeah,
and
it's
scroll
fucked
through and
up.
have something else to do.
No, but yeah, I had lied and said that I had been doing stand up like a really long time, which is like the worst thing to do. You should always you should always lie down and be like, yeah, I've been doing it like 3 years, and like have 8 years
Yeah.
under your belt. So then people are like, wow, you're fucking great. You've only been doing this for 3 years.
Oh no, yeah.
But when you lie and you say you've been doing it longer, then people expect you. It's not even
Right.
how funny you are. It's just they expect you to be at a different level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that bar. This is one of those. This, and I feel like we've talked about martial arts, is one where you don't want to set the bar. Like you don't
No,
want to
yeah.
throw it out there and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm this person who's been." It's usually you want to lower it. Be like, "No,
Yeah.
I've only been doing it for a little while," kind of thing. Or, oh, really? Because that is, and we talked to Travis too, hosts here and stuff, and he's seen people come and go who have never done it before, and then people who have said they've been doing it for a long time, and you're like, wait, you're still doing it? Are you sure you've been doing it for that long?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you
Well, sometimes they consider doing it once a month, like doing a mic
I've been
once
doing
a
it for
month.
3 years.
It's just
but
I
do
wouldn't
a
say
mic
that's
once a month.
doing it.
Yeah,
I say that's doing a mic once a month.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually an interesting thing because everybody thinks about that differently. Like I say I've been doing it for 9 years. I'd say the first year of that, it's not even fair to say I was doing it. I do like a show a month.
Yeah.
You know, I do mics a couple times a week, but like I feel, and I think most comics would agree that like if you're to say you're doing it, you're up and on a stage every night. Like that's in it. That's actually doing
that's in it. Yeah.
So.
And like we for the last 11 months we've here and there coming and going stuff, but for a while we were doing. And again, we have the opportunity to with places like this, with like sign-ups experience where you can sign up a day in advance. Slotted what it is around here. Have you've been in it for a while? Do you even know what slotted is? A slotted experience for an open mic?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you like sign up for a slot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Wow, it sells
Is this still
itself.
the trivia game?
She got that. Ding, 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 ding. No, it's just because it's funny, like talking to you, talking to Steve Simone, different people who've been kind of out of certain open mic experiences for a while, or even that, seeing the game, how it's changed. Like for us being in it.
Well, yeah, because when you do slotted, you just get to show up at your time, right?
It's you, and like for here or most places, you'll have like 9 people go up within an hour, and then the next hour,
a whole new group
come in and do it.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's so
And that's
easy.
You
why
got
up on
there
stage.
at 5, and you waited
you hoped for
for 3 hours, hoping
yeah.
that your name was going to be called.
and
Yeah.
that's
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And for having that time so like we're grateful to have that opportunity to be like, okay, time is not wasted and we can do 2 mics a night, 4 to 5 nights in a row, you know? And that's why over the last 11 months, I mean, here and there it's been 2 a week, 3 a week, but like we were consistent for a good 6 months, you know, 8 mics a week at least.
Yeah.
Just constantly doing it and just even thinking about people who didn't have that option, you know,
Yeah.
who had to wait hours or who lives in small towns where it's like, hey, well, I have a open mic.
There's un
once-
mic.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
un mic. Like that's
If
it. Like
that.
you just go and that's how you get your stage time, you know, so
Yeah.
it's the times have changed, especially in the last 9 years, I'm guessing, and 8. But even for us starting in 11 months, hearing everybody's stories in the last 3 years, the open mic scene has
Oh, yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's so many of these.
Well, it's kind of why me and Joe wanted to start Fourth Wall and
Yeah.
stuff because it was just the show up, go up mics.
Oh,
are
you
so,
own this place?
No, I manage this location, but
Oh, okay.
Joe, there's 3 others.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
But
I
he
just
kind of formatted the slotted concept.
yeah.
There's been other
Oh,
ones.
he
that kinda
started
did it,
that?
but it was kind
He's
of.
in charge.
think so.
He's
there's
the
like-
OG
he's-
slotted
I think so.
person.
Yeah. Slaughter?
Yeah,
He's
he's
OG
a
slaughter.
man.
Yeah, and now there's like
Slot-
all these other
slot-
places that
Yeah,
do the same
our
concept.
our like format's been stolen, I think, about 50 times.
Oh,
Do you
for
sign
sure.
up? You sign up on Instagram? Do you
It's
sign up
it's
online?
actually called slotted.
Slotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can
Yeah.
just like we could do that. We could sign up our name, our place, and be like, oh, we're having a slotted in our living room, and people will actually go online and
Slot.
you sign up,
Slot themselves.
and slot themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It really is.
incredibly formulaic and just it simplifies everything. Because we do, I run 7 mics a day here, and we do a mic an hour, 9
See,
people.
here's
You
the
can't
concept.
leave until
So this is today. This is the 4 p.m. mic. You slot
Oh,
yourself.
there's pepper on there.
There it is. There I am. There we are.
yeah.
And
The
the
show
5
lasts 45 minutes.
5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and then and then you just click it.
Some
sign
people
in.
go every hour.
Yeah, some
Oh, yeah.
people go.
Is Rob Blake? Is that Rob Blake?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
Rob
people-
Blake will stay here all day.
Yeah, he'll be here
Yeah.
all day because he's from out of town.
So he just
Good
does.
for
He
him.
just does
He
like
does like
all
20 mics of.
That's great.
We-
Travis gets to see the same people over and over and over.
He's
and
slowly
over.
waterboarded with open mic comedy.
Yeah.
It's really-
He said in the last 2 years, how many 5 minutes have you seen?
37,000 or more.
Open mic.
Because
5
I've
Yeah.
minutes.
worked here almost every day for 2 years. Yeah,
Holy
which is
shit.
why I'm not going to be hosting anymore.
Yeah, he finally. Oh, guess what? He works with us now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there
We
you
got
go.
the federal
Yeah.
route.
Short guy. But so yeah, that whole you started. Did you do the monologue your first time at the Improv? Did you go up on stage and do? Because you said you were
Oh.
gonna maybe try to do that for your first mic?
No,
Or you actually did
no.
that?
Yeah, no. I wrote jokes. That's so funny. I was trying to remember one of them last night. I was talking to somebody, but no, I wrote out jokes, and I had a set that I thought was fucking killer.
We always do.
And then I did what everybody did, just invited everybody I knew and went up at the Improv
You're
as
so
my
much-
first time performing
Oh my
and
gosh.
I would have never
fucking
done that.
murdered.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm
Oh, yeah.
getting an HBO special.
Cloud nine,
So.
there it is.
and then nothing will ever be as good as that moment. So
Yeah.
just chasing that high.
Preach.
Yeah, I get that. Like,
So
I hear about people who started at places like this, which we did, which is still just you're in front of like 9 other comics who don't care what you're saying, and if you get them to giggle, it's like, cool, I won. But then people who did open mics their first time, either at the Ice House or the Improv, and they just went up on a whim in front of an actual audience and killed it, and then they come to places like this and go, oh wait, that's a whole different experience, like
Yeah.
having a real audience, having this, and you being able to say you started at the Improv and that was your first and having that high. What is your writing process? I know that's everybody has their different style of like, do you write everything down or do you?
I record myself. I talk to myself. I mean, throughout the day. So
They say most smart people do.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to like pin down a process. I'm not definitely not Jerry Seinfeld where I'm like, I sit in a chair and write. But
Yeah.
I usually take my dogs for a walk or go for a hike,
Mm.
and just talk out loud to myself,
Gotcha.
and record everything, and then
You
listen
pre-record
back to it.
everything or just record like
What like
While
I
you're
record
on
while I'm
set.
talking and walking.
yeah,
Yeah,
talking and
okay.
walking? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Recorded that right then,
Mm.
and then you
it's not a bad idea.
put together your
put together a set, and then I write after that. I write everything down, and then literally look like line by line. A lot of my material is stories. It's all actual real things.
Yeah.
So it's looking at it on paper. I can then see like where I could twist something or where what word is funny about that
you
or
can flip
different
it around and
yeah.
see because your style is it's you have to have yours is energy. You have a lot of energy on stage telling your story, bringing it to life, bringing that experience to make the audience feel like they are there. I am there in the gynecologist room with you. Like,
Right.
that kind of thing. I'm just like, okay, that's. And so when I see your stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's great. And I kind of now that I've kind of been doing this enough to then see. My brain is constantly. It kind of ruins you because then you're watching someone set and you're going, okay, where did that come from? How are they writing that in their head?
Yeah.
To be like to find the. So it's great hearing people's styles because we hear everything from writing it down to recording it to. I just go up there and talk and hope for the best and then see what comes.
Who
out.
says that?
There's a few comics. And
Way too many people.
Really?
Yeah, way too many. Yeah, they're just like, I just go up there and we'll see. I don't really to do much.
Like working comics say that?
No, they're not working. There's a
No, I'm not bashing that. I'm not bashing that at all.
no, but it's like that's when you see even the ones who say they don't write but they're working comics. They don't realize they're writing. Some are like,
well, and that's where
they're
I was
like,
going with that. Is that
they're
it's
like,
not.
I don't write. It's like, yeah, you might not write it down.
Yeah,
but in your head, you might have that brain power to
Yeah.
remember that kind of stuff and do that kind of, but like, as far as like, I don't write anything. I just go up there. I'm like, no, I was like, most of a lot of people, I'm sure it's, your best sets are in the shower. Before I go do a mic, it's like, I'll take a shower and that's when I figure out what I'm about to say. And then later on that night, and then I'm like, okay, how can I put this together to talk? And then hope for the best, kind of get up on stage and connect with the audience. What is it? You just hit a year for your Boss comedy?
Yeah. We just finished our
Congrats.
12th show. Thank
12th
you.
show. What
Yeah.
did you? And that's in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. You
And Natasha Pearl
Natasha,
Hansen.
yes.
We run the show. So it's not we right now we're running it at the Comedy Store,
yeah.
but we're actually expanding to New York and Oxnard.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
That's awesome.
We'll be taking the show out there. Our first one for Oxnard is January 14th, January 15th.
January 15th?
January
Gotcha.
15th,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Nice.
And then in
We're at New York.
at West Side Comedy in New York.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll be there in February 15th.
Ooh.
Yeah.
February
That's
15th
awesome.
there, and then you're gonna still be doing the belly room, or all
Yeah.
over the place?
We're continuing. We're
And you
just
guys have a
seeing
good
how
show
we
out
can.
like that. I mean,
Yeah, that was a good show.
from the different, even the few times I've gone, you've had a good turnout of people. Even when there's moments where you're like, oh, might not be sold out, and then people show up. And the one time I went, I was a standing room only, and I had to stand in the back
Yeah,
by
you
the
stand
sound booth.
there.
I did. I was
Fucking stand there.
well, I was perfectly fine sitting behind the wall, and you were like, "What are you doing? You can't even see the show." I'm like,
I
listening.
know. I
listening
kept looking
to
at
it.
him. I was like, he's literally staring at the floor. I was like, just fucking move your head. You can't see anything. Come sit under me. What are you doing?
I think it's fine. I don't need to see that.
He was being so sweet. He was like saying, he's like, no, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I don't need it. It's cool. I'm here. I'm fine sitting by all these people and
Yeah.
watching, and the intimacy of the belly room compared to bigger rooms. Do you find it scarier? Do you find it more
The Comedy Store is its own beast. That was my home. That was my
Mhm.
home club. I started there.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Do you guys know the history of what the belly room is?
go into it for our
yeah, go
listeners?
ahead, please.
Mitzi Shore started that room, and it really was the belly room. It was the where the women would perform, which seems crazy that it was started by Mitzi, but
Yeah.
and obviously it's expanded, and I'm not knocking that because
Yeah.
Mitzi gave females the platform, so I honor her for that, but it's a very intimate space, and it can be extremely intimidating, just the
Yeah.
history of what that room
Yeah, that's crazy.
what that club is.
Mhm.
But yeah, we wanted to start Boss in the belly room for that reason,
that
because
reason?
it's
Yeah.
a small, intimate, and when that room is packed, it's
Oh,
fucking fire.
Yeah. I've heard from, even I think Miranda said last week, she's like, the laughter just hits you like in that
Yeah.
room when it's
Yeah.
like yeah, you can feel it in your bones almost. And I could see that because it is so intimate to where you you pack that place, you get the laughter, it's electrifying. And then you have the opposite end of where if it's not fully packed, and then you have even two people talking in the audience,
Yeah.
and you can hear.
Man, we had a lot of
everything.
talkers this last show. Oh my
That's what I
God.
heard.
Lots
Oh
of
my
lots
God.
of talkers, and it's even
Yeah.
at that point you're just like, I felt bad for. This is also because of being in the service industry, when they had to kick out the two people, and I thought of the waitress.
Was that the lesbian couple?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, I guarantee.
They were on something.
They were
on.
they were loud walking in. They were
Yeah.
talking. They were repeating everything the comics were saying, like word for word.
Wow.
Like you'd be like, "I walked into a bar." Oh, you walked into a bar.
She'd be like, I walked into a bar, and then she'd see the security guard coming, and she'd like nuzzle into
Yeah.
her girlfriend.
She's like, "Oh
and
my
we're
God."
like, he still sees
Yeah.
you. What are you doing?
And then she'd be like, they tell him like 3 times, like, be quiet. And then finally at the end was just like, you're really annoying. You're annoying me. I'm like, what are you talking? You're annoying us. Every single person
Wow.
is looking at you.
It was really bad.
And
But Joe's a good buddy. He's
he was just-
hilarious. He kept coming up. He's like, I'm not gonna let them fuck up your show. And I was like, kick them out.
he was so angry. I was like,
fuck out of here.
and then he's like, okay, we got to go too. We got to get them out of here. And then I felt bad for the waitress though, because I'm like, I guarantee she got stiffed.
Oh, for sure.
I think she would have got stiffed even if they didn't get kicked out. But that's just
when
me
you get
knowing
kicked out, how do you
customers.
pay your bill?
But well, they
They
closed
like
out.
that.
But
Yeah.
in those kind
Or
of
you get
things,
a
just
card.
being in the service industry, I almost in my head was like, I almost wanted to go up to her and even give her like $10 and be like, because she's getting the short end of
Such a
this.
sweet
She's
guy.
getting the short end of
Sits
the
behind
stick.
walls,
Yeah,
takes
just-
care of people's bills.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Just here, don't mind me.
Quality human.
Quality.
Very sweet.
But just like tipping because they got kicked out for the sake of the comedian and the rest of the show, but she's the one who's getting stiffed.
Yeah.
And
You know,
so that's what sucks about it. But again, I wouldn't have that mentality if I wasn't in the service industry. You know, like
Right.
having
Yeah.
that thought, be like, oh, that sucks. But it didn't hit me till that night where I was like, oh, she's getting the short end of that stick.
Yeah.
But but I'm sure it happens a lot, and I'm glad at least at the store they kick people out. There's some other clubs that I've seen where it's like you'll have people straight up like threatening the comics on stage, and then security is like, okay, we should probably get this guy out of here.
The Comedy Stores just started to do that. They definitely
don't-
weren't.
yeah.
They didn't have security. For years.
Mhm.
I'd say up until like 4 years ago. There was a shooting there, and then security really
That's
Oh,
usually,
wow.
That's
Really?
usually what
took
happens.
over.
What
yeah.
happened?
It was a drive-by shooting, and a good friend of mine, Josh Nasser, was standing there on the patio in the front. Somebody drove by and opened fire, and he held the guy as he died.
Jeez.
Damn.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so I don't know what
What-
having security guards would help
Help
against
that.
drive-by
Yeah.
shootings.
I was like,
but-
but that, yeah.
Was there a reason, or is it just?
Yeah, but say, was there a target?
Was-
or
yeah,
anything?
was-
And
the
I
target?
think
It's
I
five-
think it was just random.
5 years ago,
Jeez.
Hollywood.
Wow, that's
it's just
that's-
random.
That's shitty.
Yeah. Wait, that was 5 years ago?
Yeah,
We were
maybe
here 5
4.
years ago.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
oh,
don't know.
I was like, oh,
5
that's
years.
back in the day. I'm like, no, dude, I was here 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah,
It is crazy.
that's cool to know that they got security and
Yeah, actually, the Improv has stepped up security as well. You have to put your phone in a pouch now.
see they did that. Okay, 'cause,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Comedy Works Denver does
What do you
that.
think of that? Are you in favor of that?
Oh, I am. Last night I ran by and did a spot, a friend's show at the Dime. It's a show that's been going on for years, and this guy in the front row was filming. I mean,
What?
it's like a
Jeez.
hyped mic. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think I did 8 minutes and like in a bar, and I was like, "Sir, you have to don't film me doing this." And then literally. He's
dude,
down here. Like I look away and I come back. I'm like, "You're still filming me, fucker."
I feel you're in the. What are you doing?
It's
Wow.
just that's not.
Yeah, you're not.
It's a live performance. Keep it a live performance. Like
Yeah.
you know, especially for situations like that. Like a lot of comics, we're working out stuff. We
Yeah,
don't
film like.
we don't want that stuff out.
And there was
No,
who
for
was
sure.
it? No, there was. I don't know who.
And
it
what would be
was.
the reason to do that? Why film? You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
other
I see.
than to
I
steal
definitely
jokes
see the
or
reason.
be a creep.
No, the reason is it's literally like I could get booked on a TV show, this season, and then by next year there's
Yeah.
like fucking Courtney Scheuerman, and he's like, "You want to see this video I have of
Yeah, I
him
have this
okay,
eating
video.
a dick at the Dime?"
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at this.
Okay, okay.
Well, at least
That's a good
it's
point.
them filming you for the hopes that either you eat a dick or you don't eat a dick. It was of course a late set, like a midnight in the OR, and I can't remember who was on stage, but there was 10 people in the audience, all spread out, and there was these 3 chicks who walked in the middle of the guy's set, talking, sat down, and then started taking pictures and selfies
Of themselves?
themselves. And he's flat out was like making fun of them, trying to tell them to stop, while still just making fun of them, and they still were just like, "Ha, he's making fun." Anyways, look at it. Take our photos. Like, it's like, what? And I'm over here like, I get it. It's the midnight. Nobody cares. There's only 11 of you. But I'm like, put your phone away. What are you doing at
Yeah.
that point? But
Showing off.
yeah, I mean, it's just. And then they took photos, and then they got up and left.
Yeah.
It's like they just. And
They're
I'm like,
"We were
it's weird.
here."
Yeah, we were here. We went to the Comedy Store and did all that.
Yeah.
You for your how often do you write? I mean, you're probably constantly writing, but as far as like, where do you try out new material? Like, when do you try out? Do you have certain places that you try out new material, or is there places where like, oh, this is my go-to, I do this?
No, I mean, right now, like things kind of change. Like I used to have places where I would go to try out new material, and now it's to a point where I'm up pretty much every night. So
Yeah.
I'm within each set. I'm
Throwing in
twisting
sprinkles of
things,
stuff,
tossing
twisting.
things. It's not really like I'm going up and being like, I'm gonna try out this whole new 5-minute.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
It's like something that you keep adding on to.
Gotcha. That makes sense with
Yeah.
because us, coming here or other places where you see the same people, it's like, yeah, I want to try out and work on bits, but at the same time, people have seen my stuff here or other places, so I'm just like, I usually change it up a lot, 90% of the time, because then I want that new reaction. But then it's so throwing in dabbling of old stuff and new stuff. It's like, all right, who's in the audience? All right, 3 of you have seen this before. Okay, I'll do my old
Yeah,
stuff. You know,
I have to say this is that the mic world is this whole other world.
Yeah.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like
That makes sense.
you guys all know, I don't mean like you guys, but like, you
Yeah,
know, people
no,
that,
sure.
that frequent mics, you guys know each other, you guys see each other and you see each other's sets, but
Small world.
it's not any different.
Yeah.
Like in the club world, like I could do like my friends, my buddies, and the people that are regularly up
Yeah.
at the Laugh Factory Comedy Store, improv. I could do their jokes. I know them so
Yeah,
well. I
no,
see them
exactly.
so often.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like comics will be like, yeah, I'm gonna step out when so and so's on stage because I know their
I know
entire
all
set.
the, yeah.
They might do like a new
Yeah.
bit, like what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
add something into their set that they're working on. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so-
no, it's you get that feel of thing. Like there'll be times where I'll go up and like he'll have to go to the bathroom and people have been like, if you're gonna go to the bathroom, you know it's perfect. This is the time to go.
Yeah.
Like during Garon, because you've heard
Yeah.
all this stuff, or you know,
no,
like
but I guess what I'm saying is like don't concern yourself with that about like trying to do new stuff because of the people that are in the audience
Yeah.
because you're going to a mic and I mean even like regular shows, you know, like late night at the Improv, that's like a great spot now, you know, where comics are working on newer stuff
Yeah.
and it's a set. You're constantly working on it.
Yeah.
Unless you're filming your fucking special,
yeah,
it's something that it's evolving. It's
evolving,
an art.
growing.
Yeah. So,
Organic.
and the purpose is not for the other people in the room.
yeah, it's for you. It's for
Yeah.
figuring that out, and that's why now, like I said, we've 11 months now. A year ago, January, first time I've done acting and stuff and improv, so that was nice, but it was a whole different ballgame jumping on stage. Steele's on stage and he's never done anything. He was never on stage before this. So getting over that fear. So this last year has been just hitting it hard even here and little other places just to go through those bumps. And it's just now in the last month or two where we both are like, we're having fun. Like we were having fun anyways, but now it's like, oh, it's exciting to go on stage and try things and be okay
Yeah.
with not working out or
Yeah.
so now it's like after the first of the year opening up and going and spreading our wings, I guess.
Yeah, back to like your first year or like the beginning stages of when you started and stuff. What year do you think you were on when you started taking it seriously? You're like, okay, I mean, like you said, your first year you did like maybe a show a month, but like when did you kind of step it up and was like, okay, now I need to do this, or did you have someone influence you to be like, hey, you need to start now doing this, or did it just kind of evolve into what it is today?
Yeah, everybody really has such a different like journey in this, obviously. And mine, I had done like 4 or 5 shows, and this is unusual. It wasn't. I had somebody after a spot at the Comedy Store, a bringer show. Which are you guys doing those?
No, but I know enough about them, and I've seen enough of Rebels of Comedy at the Federal
Yeah.
to know what bringer shows
Yeah.
involve. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's every comic has to do it.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
where you start. There's no getting around it,
Right.
and they're very helpful.
Yeah.
It seems, but it's like it's part of the process. So,
yeah.
you should definitely.
I think
be looking
we
to do
haven't
those.
done those quite yet because up until maybe when we started this podcast 4 months ago, we didn't even tell anybody that we even started doing stand-up.
Yeah,
And then it got to the
Yeah.
point where now it's like, okay, now we're doing this. It's been about a year. Now it's like, okay,
Yeah, when you're comfortable.
now we can invite, start inviting people and
Yeah.
not caring as much about
Right.
like
Yeah.
who's in the audience or who's not in the
Yeah.
audience.
Mhm.
Well, I was doing a bringer show at the Comedy Store, and I had an agent from ICM come up to me after, and I was like, "Fucking,
There it
here's
is.
my thing."
That HBO special is like a month
Made
away.
it. And actually, that's hilarious. Actually, we went to the Dime where I was last
Oh, wow.
night, and he would. I thought we were gonna be talking contracts, and like he's like, no, like I see potential. I want to let you know, like you're on my radar.
Keep
And
going.
and it was like that moment. I was like, oh fuck, this is actually something I could seriously do. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting across from somebody who's in a position of power who
Yeah.
actually thinks that I
interested.
could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
very
that was
filling.
like my clicking moment of like, I need to get my ass in gear and actually take this seriously.
Yeah.
If somebody else is willing to take me seriously. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Which is,
Um,
it's hard because sometimes you have to take yourself serious before anybody else will.
right.
And for you, that was not, but flipped and being like, oh, okay, yeah, it's time to do it.
Yeah.
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 And there's different levels of taking it serious too, for sure.
Yeah,
You
there
know?
really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because like I couldn't be where you're at right now because I don't have the experience and like it'd scare me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, but you're like over that fear. Now you're onto a new fear. You know,
Constant.
like a new, not maybe not fear, but like goal or I don't know, hurdle.
fear and goals. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and when I say take it seriously, I guess I mean just being all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think
You can't
no
tiptoe
matter what your
around
fears
this. You
are.
can't tiptoe around
Yeah.
stand up. Like
Yeah.
it's not one where it's, oh, I'm doing it or I'm not doing it, or it's like, especially how it's such a small world, but still there is thousands of comics we've never even met. So knowing like it's like, acting is a huge thing, but then stand up is like small, tight knit, but so you have to take it seriously because, out of sight, out of mind. So not only is it you could be a great comic and make people laugh, but then if you're not good on the back end as far as promotion, getting yourself out there, talking to people, being, then that won't, because that won't help you, kind of. So like you're constantly building it together so that one day you can, I guess, get your special. Are you trying? Is that your final? What is your major goal right now, especially going into 2020?
Like business strategy.
Business strategy. My goal is to have a show around my personality. Yeah, a scripted show.
Oh, like sitcom show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I feel like every comic is, working on developing that.
Mm-hmm.
As they should be. That's, it's your voice, it's your personality up there. Yeah. And this year I really want to get another late night spot. And yeah, got some other goals brewing.
All the goals,
Yeah.
no, and that's the thing with it being 2020. It's like, but also taking in like what happened in 2019 or 2018 and being like grateful for that and knowing what you accomplished, and then going into the new year and being, because it's so easy too in this field and acting and everything is to be hard on yourself for what you don't have, rather than realizing what you have accomplished.
Yeah, I definitely throughout the years, my biggest thing was like, once I make it on TV doing stand up, I'll know I've made it. And it was like once that happened, I was like, that was fucking nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I suck. Like I'd be like, that was just Carson Daly. Like I want to be on fucking Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And comparing myself, and social media.
Oh yeah, it makes it
for
hardest
sure.
when you're
Bleeds
comparing
that,
yourself
yeah.
and following likes and posts and seeing where people are and
Yeah, that's a huge goal of mine. Is and I've been working on that. Is not actually Jeff. I was talking about this yesterday on his podcast of changing your social media so it's a happy platform. So like mine right now definitely is just like jealous of that. In my brain,
yeah,
I'm literally
yeah.
it's like a state of panic looking
Yeah.
through it, which is horrible to say, but I mean that's human nature.
Yeah. For sure.
But putting things on there like puppies or like things, so when you actually look at it, you're happy to.
Yeah. That's why I like following hashtags now.
Oh,
a bunch of hashtag bouldering, hashtag whatever. So it's like, I'm scrolling.
Bouldering?
Well, whatever.
Rock climbing.
Yeah, rock climbing.
So cute.
Why do they call it?
Place is bouldering.
Why do they call it
The
bouldering?
happy
Because you're like-
hashtags.
It's ropeless.
Yeah, you're not in a.
Oh.
So it's like big boulders. So
Usually
you
it's
put
just a
yourself in
crash pad.
situations that you would be maybe up high,
Yeah.
but you no ropes. So it probably the highest would probably be as high as the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's
yeah.
a large
That
hill.
sounds
But
really
it's-
calming
but
and
it's a boulder.
soothing.
It's actually like a
it's funny
huge boulder.
because it
Kinda
is-
depends on what it
It's
is.
not that high, but when you're up there without any rope, you go up even 3 feet, and you're like, oh, if I make one wrong move,
Are you guys both doing this? You're bouldering?
I mean, we
have,
have, yeah.
Yeah, we're from Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, yeah. But again, we don't have enough time in the day because we're doing this.
All these mics.
We're doing the
All these-
mics. We're doing bouldering. We're doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh my god.
And jiu-jitsu,
so cute.
yeah. As far as that goes, that comes first. Or as far as extracurriculars,
Yeah, over bouldering.
yeah.
Because that's the reason
Is
we
bouldering
do.
your lowest priority?
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
it
lower
is.
priority.
We get to that the least.
We have the shoes, all right, but just
We're
in
not
case-
I
Alex
saw
Honnolding it
snowboard
out there.
boots in your car.
I do have
You guys
snowboard
are-
boots. Yep, I do have that. I'm ready
You
to
guys are
go.
killing it.
Just
You snowboard?
yes,
Nice.
I just actually went for the first time in like 12 years.
So that's not snowboarding.
It's not snowboarding. But
I
I'm
just
saying,
got the Icon Pass.
But
for
I'm,
the season.
oh, you did? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm really excited.
You got what's
The
what
Icon
pass?
Pass.
The Icon Pass. It's
The
just
all-
like a, yeah.
All
Do you get
mountain
like?
pass?
Is it like one? You get to go one
You
time
can go
per
any.
mountain?
No,
No,
you
it's
can
the
go
pass.
oh,
It's
yeah.
all mountain pass.
Yeah,
it's
all
like the top of the line.
Oh
like,
shit! So you can just go whenever
Well,
you
I
want.
didn't
wherever
get
you
the
want.
top of
but
the line.
still, it's
They keep fucking emailing me for the $300 upgrade. I'm like, eat
No.
my ass.
Yeah, I already gave you like $1,200. Fuck off.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Do you
should go
ski or
sometime.
snowboard?
Snowboard.
Snowboard? Nice. Yeah, no, we will. Again, we've been talking about it, trying since we even moved here 8 years ago, and then last time I did was probably in Colorado, and I lived in Chicago before here. But that's why I was like, the first time going, I'm like, oh, cool. I was still like, it was funny though, in my head, like we talked about with jiu-jitsu, as I was going down the mountain, I was still in my head going, okay, I can't go that crazy because I don't want to get hurt for jiu-jitsu. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to be taken
No,
out.
that's called getting older.
yeah, it is too. I'm like, oh, here we go, there we go. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Well, you just start thinking like, fuck, if I
Yeah.
broke my leg, I'm
Yeah,
done.
you can't do
Yeah.
stand up.
Yeah.
Well, you could
You
just sit down.
You can sit
Yeah.
Waka waka.
Waka waka. That's 11 months of training right there.
There you go. There
All
you go.
worth it.
Thank God. Maybe I should write that down.
Write that down, please. Write that down. But yeah, it's happy place. Exactly. Bouldering, happy place.
Well, you know what I mean,
Snowboarding.
though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I follow hashtag pizza too.
Yeah.
Hashtag steak. You wouldn't believe the kind of shit they have coming.
Just looking at meat all day.
I want to see your Instagram feed so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah. No. Seriously, mine is pretty happy.
That's right.
Every once in a while, I'll stumble across a Ben Shapiro post. It's like,
Oh my
maybe a
God.
little depressing.
You're in bed looking at steaks at night.
Oh, steaks, dude. I follow hashtag piglets.
What?
So it's just
What
like
pigs?
baby pigs.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
They
adorable.
are
That's
cute.
adorable,
They
yeah.
are cute.
I'll get on
Definitely
board
cute.
with that one.
Yeah.
Steaks.
Oh no, they're delicious. You like it'd be like a video of someone pulling like
Yeah.
this cheesy steaky thing.
I
I don't
don't-
know.
I-
Sometimes it's, I don't know.
Cheesy steak.
I don't even
I don't
know
know.
what my
It's-
most random. I don't. You top the randomness of hashtag following because I was on board with the majority of those, and then you got into foods and piglets.
I'm trying to think if I have anything weirder.
I don't think you could.
Yeah.
Don't think
Steaks,
so.
hashtag pizza, hashtag.
Feet.
Ooh.
That's, yeah.
Dude, there's
That's
so many.
another. That's another
so many.
podcast.
There's so many people trying to sell those feet pics on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's
on
ridiculous.
But they
Instagram.
do.
Yeah.
They
I
do
can't
sell
believe-
them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I got a text message on my family group thread
Oh no.
out of nowhere. My brother's like, Court, what the fuck are your feet doing on WikiFeet? And I was like, what? He's like, my coworker just Googled your name. I was heading up to Santa Barbara. My brother was
yeah.
in Santa Barbara for a show, and he like invited all of his coworkers. He's like, and they Googled your name to like watch a clip of yours
Yeah.
before they saw your show.
Oh, no.
And one of the first things that came up was, it's like I don't. It's like a fetish site for like feet.
Wiki feet?
Wiki feet.
That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
He's like, there's
Should we
like
look
5
it up?
pictures of your feet.
Feet.
Don't fucking look it up.
Dude,
Five pictures?
Yeah, there's 5
Not
pictures.
just one,
It's some
5.
creep that like zooms in
into your
Oh.
on,
photo
on
or something
pictures
like
that.
that.
You posted,
Oh Jesus.
or like pictures that are
Oh.
out there, and they zoom in on your feet. It's really creepy. I don't
Pretty
know how to
creepy.
At least you
describe
have
it.
nice feet. There's some nasty feet out there.
No, I didn't even get a good rating.
What?
Yeah, no, I
I
didn't.
didn't even get a good rating.
I
Oh.
think I got like
On
in the
WikiFeet.
60s.
Oh.
Were you upset by your feet rating?
No, I really was. That's another thing.
That's another. That's
That's fucking
get that
another
out of
thing.
there. That's not.
Well,
a
I was
happy
sitting,
place.
I'm like sitting there like I was like quiet. Like I was at first I was upset that I was on the site, but then I was like, seriously? Fucking 60? And then I'm literally looking at my own feet like, what the fuck,
You're like
dude?
posting a better photo of your feet.
Yeah.
on the
Immediately
site.
went and got a
That's a bad
pedicure.
angle, bro. It's a bad angle.
You're like, what is that? Just let me. I'll give you a photo of my feet. Just don't do. I'll do it justice.
Just like,
Gosh.
God, let me, yeah. Wow.
I don't.
So.
I
Well,
don't-
creepy as fuck.
that is creepy.
That's the wild world of men, huh?
Wild.
Do you find you get creeped on a good amount now that you're sort of in the limelight more and stuff, or the more successful you get?
Yeah. That everything grows with that. Messages from people, mostly on like social media.
Yeah.
Being weirdos.
Randos.
Just
Yeah.
constant.
Yeah, get a lot of dick pics.
Yeah.
That one's
Really?
shocking. Yeah.
That's just why.
Yeah, on
I've
Instagram.
never
And
had
it's
that.
always,
Has anyone ever succeeded? Like, just, oh my God, I love your dick. Can we meet up right now? Like, where are you right now? This is the
Where-
best dick I've ever seen.
You gotta figure
Those are the best angles and lights.
statistically, with the amount of people that send them, it's gotta work for some people.
Well, I mean,
right?
I don't know.
I mean,
Do you know any girl
If it
that's
has a
been like,
zero
wow, yeah, that was a
probability.
great dick, and I hit him up?
No, and I don't
She's
think
like,
they're
"That's me."
sending it for that. I think they're getting off on the idea that
That
I'm
someone
going to pull
else
up my
saw it.
phone
Oh.
Let's see their
and
dick.
see
Yeah.
their dick.
It's like
and
a
they're
digital
like,
Look,
flasher.
You saw my dick. Yeah.
Start following hashtag piglets, motherfuckers. The shit off your mind. Go to
Yeah.
church.
Go to church.
Did you
Do you go to church?
No, I obviously don't need it. You know what I mean? I obviously don't need that shit.
Yeah, he follows the hashtag, and that's all he needs.
Mhm.
That's all he needs for that.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Because like, besides talking about all the same stuff, you're from here. You started comedy. Do you have a? Have you shot like a 30-minute special or an hour, or like how long? What's the longest you've? Because you have your set together. Sidetrack.
Are you asking if I have a
Sidetracked.
special
It's
out?
no, I'm not asking that. It was my roundabout way of
this
going.
was weird.
Talking about no, your impressions.
Mm-hmm.
You do. Who do you do very well?
I do Wanda Sykes.
She does Wanda Sykes, and I'm not going to ask you to do it, but has Wanda
Can I
ever
ask
seen
you to
you
do
do it?
Well, actually, this is a hilarious story, and I was telling Ski this the other night.
Oh yeah.
That's what we were dying in class
gotcha,
about.
gotcha.
This just happened. So I'm good friends with Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
And she she shot Black Mitzvah like a year ago, but she
Mhm.
just released it.
Yeah.
But she actually got bat mitzvahed. So we went to her ceremony, and she actually
Yeah.
converted. Um,
Damn.
so she's, but it was actually like a very intimate party. It was close friends and family, and it wasn't starfuckery. There was a couple, names, but everybody that was there, like Sarah Silverman's mom converted her, and so Sarah Silverman was there, and like Kevin Nealon, and close friends, anybody that has like helped her get to where she is.
Yeah.
And Wanda Sykes produced her special, the
yeah,
They
that's
Ready,
right, yeah.
and both of her specials. So the They Ready team was there, and so I've met Wanda backstage at tapings.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hi,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
and did not expect her to remember me or anything, but because it's part of our friend group, when she sees me, she's like, oh, hi, just because she recognizes my face, but we've never spoke. And I don't know why. We had just walked the red carpet, like the entrance, and she was standing next to me, and I got a hair at my butt. And I've never done this. I'm not this person. I'm not,
Yeah.
I grew up in LA, so not much impresses me like that.
Makes sense.
I don't know why I said this. I turned to her and I was like, "Hey, Wanda, you probably don't remember me. We've met a couple times. I'm Courtney," and she's like, "Oh," and we shook hands. And I was like, I don't mean to make this weird, but I started doing a bit about female comics that I look up to, and it's been my closer for a couple of months now, and I do an impression of you. And then I just looked at her like she was supposed to respond, and she wouldn't even make eye contact with me. She's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "No, don't worry. I'm not going to do it now for you, but I just wanted to let you know." And she was like, "Okay." And I was like, "No, I'm sorry. I just made this weird. I'm not like going to do it." And she's like, "Yeah, please don't." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then I just stood there, and she stood there, and we just stood there in silence. And then, so the night goes on. I was literally like, well, how did I just fuck that up that bad? We go to the buffet. We're getting food. She goes and sits down. I go to my table, and somebody's sitting at my seat. There's nowhere for me to sit. And I'm literally like, what the fuck? So I turn around, and the only seat that's available is next to Wanda.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
And so I walk over, and I sit next to her, and she's eating, and she looks up. And we make eye contact, and literally, the look of horror that's come, she thinks I'm stalking her,
Just
following her around the party.
With your lunch tray.
Yeah, and I sat next to her, and she boxed me out the entire meal. I just sat there
Just like. I'm surprised she didn't
It
try
always
to
works
get
out like that.
security or somebody. No, it's
Snowball effect.
it's
That's horrible.
The few times I've seen you do it, I'm like, every time it gets even better. So it's impressions are, and for you to pull that one out, you're not even expecting any impressions, and then you pull up one. I'm like, I love, and it's spot on. I love her comedy. I love her. It's funny because the first time I ever even I think experienced her, which is a random thing, was
Experienced her.
Experienced her. I experienced her
The
very much.
Wanda experience.
But the one
Very
experience.
Christian
But was
way,
from
if you
Chris Rock's movie. Which one was it? I just went blank. I'm bad with names. Where he dies. He's a comic. He dies, and then he
comes back as a rich white guy?
Yeah, comes back as a rich white guy.
No idea what that movie's called.
Dang.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Woods,
though.
y'all. That's the only line I know from that movie. And then you have her in it. But anyways, having that, and then I didn't realize she was a comic until after that because that came out a while ago. And then to see her stand up, and I was like, so then when I first saw you do that, I'm like, and then for you to put it into your bit the way you do, bravo to you. Bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank
then
you.
for you to meet her and totally be like, ah.
I did. Well, and
You gotta-
she's producing the next Day Ready, which
Oh.
I'm really wanting to be a part of. I'm like, well, I fucked that chance
just-
up.
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't remember you. Now go into it like
No,
you've never
she's
met her.
not gonna forget me. She was like, I think she called security. So
You serious?
no.
Oh, I was gonna say, really?
You're adorable, Pepper.
That's just a little extra.
It's a little much.
Oh, extra.
So now it's the end. This is actually probably going to come out the 30th
The 30th of this month.
of this month. Yeah, it'll be the last one of the year.
New Year's
The new-
Eve.
Do you have any
Yeah.
shows? Do you have anything coming up in LA at the beginning of the year? You know,
Yeah. Boss Comedy will be back at the Comedy Store. The 15th. I'm messing that up. The 15th, and then the following, which is a Wednesday. It's normally on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
But this January they had the room booked out, so we're there the 15th, and then we're moving to Oxnard. Our first show there is that following Wednesday. Which does anybody have a calendar? I think it's the 20.
Probably the
Wednesday the 22nd?
22nd, Wednesday the 22nd in Oxnard at the Levity Live, which is a beautiful theater, which is the Improv Theater.
Oh, okay.
Levity bought them
Nice.
out, so
Nice.
yeah.
That'd be the first. Yeah.
And what's your
January?
Instagram handle?
It's
For the people.
Courtney for the people. It's Courtney Scheuerman, and the last name's spelled SCHEUERMAN.
All right.
It's just Sherman.
And is that the only place Instagram? Or do you have any? Are you?
Do you fuck with
Are you
Twitter? Do you fuck with Twitter?
You know what? I fucked with Twitter, and then I said fuck Twitter.
Yeah.
Preach.
But I'm back up.
Preach.
I actually just started a new account like a week ago, which is it's Holding Court.
Holding Court.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's going good.
Love
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
cool. There you go. You'll be there. Your shows. Follow her on Instagram. Her Holding Court of Twitter. See if that still holds up when this comes out.
Yes, and actually all of my dates you can find on my website, CourtneyScheuerman.com.
CourtneyScheuerman.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming early in the
Yeah, thank you
morning
so
and
much.
hanging out with us and
Absolutely.
being on the podcast.
Thank you
And
guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
this was lots of fun. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Don't talk about it.
Be about it, bitch.
It's not what you wanted from me. You've been trying to make sense of my mistakes. My mistakes, yeah.
Hey you guys, thanks for watching this episode. Please hit that subscribe button. Go follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
And remember, if you want to go the extra mile, you can also support us over on Patreon, where in the future we'll be able to get unreleased content and content that nobody else can see. And remember, guys, don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Peace.